Welcome to Manila Updates TV. Please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon for more updates. The South China Sea is making headlines again, a powerful new alliance is forming, and China is watching closely, even nervously. The Philippines and Vietnam, two nations with their own long histories, are now coming together. At the heart of it all is the vast, stormy South China Sea, a place of vital trade routes, rich fishing grounds, and rising tension. China's leaders are used to calling the shots in these waters, but this time, things feel different. Vietnamese and Filipino leaders are shaking hands, signing deals, and sending their ships out together. The message is clear. They are ready to defend their interests and they are not alone. The world is watching. News channels show dramatic footage, Vietnamese Coast Guard vessels alongside Philippine patrol boats. Chinese ships shadow them, sometimes just a few hundred meters away. The tension is almost physical, as if you can feel it in the air. This growing alliance is shaking the old order. For China, it is both a shock and a challenge. For the people who live along these coasts, it is a new hope and a new risk. Vietnam and the Philippines stand together, not just in politics, but for the people who depend on the sea. Their coast guards now share information and practice rescue missions side by side. When foreign ships appear, Vietnamese and Filipino patrols are ready to watch, record, and respond together. Tensions are rising fast in the South China Sea. In the last year, there have been more confrontations. Chinese vessels have used water cannons and loudspeakers to drive away Filipino supply boats. Vietnamese fishermen have reported being chased or blocked. The stakes are growing. Why is this happening now? One reason is China's growing power. Beijing has built artificial islands and military bases on disputed reefs, its Coast Guard and Navy patrol farther and more often. This makes its neighbors nervous. They fear losing their fishing grounds, their energy resources, and even their sovereignty. But there is another reason. The world is watching. The United States, Japan, and Australia are sending ships and planes through the region. They say they want to keep sea lanes open for everyone. This outside interest puts pressure on all sides. It also gives smaller countries the confidence to push back. With each tense encounter, the risk of miscalculation grows. One mistake could turn a local clash into a global crisis. Alliances today are not like old-fashioned military pacts. They are more flexible, more focused, and built around shared interests. The Philippines and Vietnam are not promising to fight a war together. Instead, they are promising to help each other, share information, and stand united when needed. This modern approach lets each country keep its independence. At the same time, it makes them stronger together. If a crisis erupts, they can respond quickly. If the situation calms down, they can step back without breaking ties. These alliances are not just about security. They include agreements on disaster relief, maritime safety, and environmental protection. This helps build trust, not only between governments but also among ordinary people. Such flexibility is key in today's world. Shared interests change and so do threats. Modern alliances help countries stay ready for whatever comes next. The Philippines is not just relying on old treaties. It is building a web of new partnerships, kind of like a neighborhood watch for the region. This is all about looking out for each other, sharing warnings, and sending help when trouble appears. Instead of depending only on big powers like the United States, the Philippines is reaching out to its neighbors. Vietnam is a key partner, but so are Indonesia, Malaysia, and even, far-off friends like Japan and Australia. The idea is simple. More friends mean more security. This neighborhood watch approach is really changing how countries think about security. Instead of waiting for help from far away, they are creating networks close to home. If a crisis hits, they can act fast, sometimes before bigger countries even notice. The system is still new, and there are challenges, but for the Philippines, it is a way to take control of its own future. It is also a warning to anyone thinking of causing trouble. The neighbors are watching. Alliances become real when words turn into action. In the South China Sea, this means joint patrols, shared intelligence, and help from partners outside the region. Vietnam and the Philippines are sending their ships out together for the first time in years. These patrols have a clear purpose. They show everyone, especially China, that the two countries are serious. They also help keep fishermen safe, monitor illegal activity, and respond to emergencies more quickly. Intelligence sharing is another key step. By combining their information, both countries can see more and react faster. If Chinese ships make a sudden move, Vietnamese and Filipino commanders know about it within minutes. Outside partners like Japan, Australia, and even Lithuania are getting involved. They offer training, patrol ships, and satellite images. This makes the alliance stronger, and it sends a message: the world is paying attention. Not long ago, Vietnam and the Philippines saw each other as competitors. Both claimed the same reefs and fishing grounds. Their coast guards sometimes clashed over tiny islets in the middle of the sea. But now, a bigger threat has pushed them together. China's growing might has forced old rivals to become new friends. By setting aside their disputes, Vietnam and the Philippines can focus on what matters most: defending their rights and their people. They are learning to trust each other, one patrol at a time. This shift is not easy. Some fishermen still argue over who can fish where, but more and more, they see that unity brings safety. When Chinese ships appear, Vietnamese and Filipino vessels can face them together, instead of alone. The alliance is still young, but it is growing stronger with each challenge. As one Filipino officer put it, when we work together, we are not just protecting our land. We are standing up for everyone who calls this sea home. China has long used a divide-and-conquer strategy in the South China Sea. By keeping its neighbors busy with their own disputes, it could act more freely. But now, the new alliance between the Philippines and Vietnam makes this much harder. These days, when China tries to pressure one country, the other steps in. Local incidents, like the blocking of a fishing boat or the building of a new structure, quickly become international news. This, in turn, draws in other powers and makes it, well, harder for China to act quietly. The alliance also means that any move by China must be calculated more carefully. If it pushes too hard, it could bring not just Vietnam or the Philippines, but their friends and partners into the dispute. This raises the stakes for everyone involved. For China, this is a real dilemma. Should it back down and risk losing control, or double down and risk a wider confrontation? The new alliance has changed the game, and, honestly, everyone is watching to see what happens next. Behind the headlines, real people are caught in the struggle. For fishermen and their families, the sea is everything. It is food, work, and tradition. But it is also a place of danger, as foreign ships patrol the waters and tempers flare. When alliances work, fishermen can go out with more confidence. They know their coast guards are close by. They see joint patrols on the horizon, ready to help if trouble comes. This means more fish on the table, more money for schools and repairs, and, a little less fear. Yet the risks remain. Every trip to sea could bring an encounter with a foreign vessel. Sometimes nets are cut or boats are damaged. In rare cases, people are hurt or go missing. The stakes are painfully real. The new alliance brings hope, but also a reminder. The fight for the South China Sea is not just about maps or politics. It is about people and their right to live and work in safety. China is not standing still. In response to the new alliance, it is expanding its maritime operations. Chinese Coast Guard ships now patrol closer to the coasts of Vietnam and the Philippines than ever before. They use new tactics, deploying drones, shining powerful lights at night, and broadcasting warnings in multiple languages. These moves are designed to test the region's response. Can the Vietnam-Philippines alliance hold firm? Will outside partners step in if there is a crisis? Each incident becomes a test, and, really, the world is watching the answers. China is also investing in new technology. Satellite tracking, fast patrol boats, and even unmanned vessels are becoming part of the contest. The goal is clear: to keep pressure on its neighbors, and to show that it will not back down easily. For the region, this means the struggle is far from over. Every day brings new challenges, and the need for unity and caution has never been greater. The South China Sea is changing fast. The alliance between the Philippines and Vietnam is transforming old rivalries into new partnerships. It is drawing in outside powers and making every move more visible to the world. For China, this is a challenge. For the people of the region, it is a source of hope and uncertainty. Fishermen, families, and whole communities depend on what happens next. Their future hangs in the balance. The story is not finished. New alliances will form. Old ones may break, and the sea itself will remain as unpredictable as ever. But one thing is clear: the decisions made today will shape the future for generations to come. Stay curious, follow the details, because in the South China Sea, every headline is the start of another story.